What's going on, everybody? What is going on? It's your boy Doc Holiday. We back as always with another HBCU Overdrive. Make sure that you like the stream. Make sure that you comment, share. Most of all, subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you hit the notification bell to get everything HBCU Overdrive. And now I'm just letting y'all know I'm in the car and I'm heading home right now. So y'all just have to bear with me. I'm driving these little urban streets, but I can't even put my thing up. But anyway, we gonna go ahead and get into it because I got a guest that is all about basketball. Um, y'all heard her on a Twitter space like a week and a half ago, and she does go live on her YouTube channel with live basketball games, and I think she said she's gonna start going live to kind of give her insight. But I want to introduce y'all Miss Liv, aka Liv for Hoops. Let me go ahead and bring her on. It's crazy doing this thing from the phone. What's going on?
Hey, how are you?
Doing good. I'm doing good. Like I said, I'm rolling on these streets right here. Rolling on these streets. So, how's everything going?
Everything's good. I don't know if people have been paying attention, but SWAC basketball it's been a ride through this non-conference so far. A few teams have gotten some big wins, some have still gone winless, but nonetheless, it's showing that this SWAC season for both men and women is going to be a serious battle every single night.
Right. So, we all you just gonna cover sweat. We're gonna cover sweat basketball. Have you talked about MEAC basketball also?
I dabble in it because HBCU Pass talks about MEAC basketball, and I pay attention because I do my weekly rankings for just D1 HBCU basketball. So I definitely tune in to the women and men's of the MEAC, not as heavily as SWAC, as in like watching their games consistently, but I definitely do pay attention to their scores and updates and highlights and all of that.
Okay. Now give me your insight as far as what you think about MEAC basketball. And I know you pay more attention on the women's side on in both conferences, but give me your take on the MEAC for the women, and then give me your insight on men for men basketball for the MEAC, and then
Mhm.
we'll go for the SWAC.
Okay. I think in the MEAC right now, there's the two outlying teams that are unanimously the favorites to win the conference, and that's Norfolk for both men and women. The women are off to actually both teams are off to a great start. The women are currently 7-4. They just beat High Point in overtime last night, where their post player Mimi Wheeler had 32 points and 17 rebounds, and
Mm.
their two-time transfer from North Carolina State, Diamond Johnson, was finally able to play due to the new temporary restraining order against the NCAA for two-time transfers. But even without Diamond, they've been consistently competing and beating Division One teams. And they're obviously the returning champs from last year. They went to the conference tournament last year. They're pretty much the conference favorite this year. Just right now, obviously, I always say anything can happen once conference starts because you never know until you roll those balls out. But they have definitely been the outliers. I know a lot of people know Howard basketball or just know the school Howard. Their women's team is like 1-8 or 1-9, but they've been playing a very heavy non-schedule conference. So I don't put anything past them making it into the top three spots. University of Maryland Eastern Shore, who was in my ranking last week for top 5, is currently at 6-5, and they've just been playing good, solid basketball. I think
Mm-hmm.
most of the attention has gone to Norfolk's women's basketball because they've also been ranked in the mid-major top 25 for consecutive weeks. And now they are the only remaining HBCU team still in the mid-major top 25 at number 23. That poll came out today. Um,
Okay.
So they're the runaway favorites right now, but anything can happen once season starts. And then on the men's side, it's the same thing for Norfolk's men's basketball team, Norfolk State. They've been playing very good. They had that big win over VCU and then Illinois State. They dropped 2 games last week to people they should have beat, but they still are at, I believe, 7-4. So their men and women have relatively the same records, and they've just been, again, they've been the only HBCU men's team to be ranked in the mid-major top 25. This was the first week they dropped out, and I anticipated that happening. But Delaware State is playing very well. I think what I saw, they've had the best start in school history, I believe. And then North Carolina Central is good always with their coach is he's a great coach. And then I know South Carolina State, I'm bringing them up because they've already had crossovers in the SWAC. I mean, they're a good team. I think with the men's side for the MEAC, anything could happen. But right now, the favorites are Norfolk to win both the men's and the women.
Okay. And we're gonna go into the SWAC. So let's start with the men, and then we're gonna go into the women.
Okay, very heavy. I know it's been really big wins for some teams like Southern and Jackson State, and then other teams who are still on the struggle bus like Mississippi Valley State. But from all the games that I've seen from the men's side of the SWAC, it really is going to be a dogfight for that top spot. I think the men's side of the SWAC is very guard heavy of extremely talented scoring guards who can get after it. And I tweeted this, I believe, yesterday or the day before. I said, whoever on the men's side, it's going to come down to whoever has the most dominant big man, whether that means scoring or defending or a mixture of both. Whichever SWAC's team's big man comes out and performs the best on a nightly basis will be the team that I think will come out on top, which is definitely a good sign for Jackson State because of the way O'Neal played in that HBCU Classic.
Oh, yeah.
He was balling. He was very dominant, inserted himself, but that's just been my take of it. I know all the teams pretty much have very, 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 very strong guards. I've been very much eyeing the post players because they're not as big of a consistent threat or that we've seen through these non-conference games. But right now, Bethune and Prairie View are at the top of the rankings, both at 5-5, followed by Southern at 5-7, then UAPB, then Jackson State. I think it's going to be a battle. It's going to be who's going to take it serious on a nightly basis for defense. I'm excited to see who steps up. And I think for most teams, when their quote unquote star player has not been performing well, other people have really stepped up to make a name for themselves. And so right now, I don't think there's any runaway favorites for the SWAC men's side. It's just seeming like the guards are just showing so much scoring potential, tenacity. But the best wins of the season, the best one has come from Southern, who beat nationally ranked Mississippi State, and then Jackson State with the wins over Mizzou. So, I mean, the men is so much harder to tell because it's just been so even. You're muted.
Okay. So
There you go.
I did. Okay, sorry about that. So I did see that Southern do have a win over UNLV earlier this year. I know that right now. It's the Pac-12 SWAC Legacy Series.
Yes.
Uh, and I kind of peeped out earlier where Bama State was playing USC, and USC was trying to give them the business early in the first half.
Yes, but I will say, I thought that the I've once the game started, I was like, oh, USC came in here being like, we're not about to lose to this team, and we're gonna demolish them. And I thought Alabama State came out very flat. They looked very timid because when they played LSU on December 13th, they were in that game till probably like the last 10 minutes going back and forth with LSU. So the team that played tonight for sure in the first half was just not the team that I've seen them be. Because they've competed, and you know they lost to Ole Miss by only 10. They they beat North Carolina A&T as well. They beat Merrimack. So that was a tough game for them. I think they just came out so flat and timid, and USC was just hitting every single shot that it deflated the energy in the gym.
Right. So now we're going to get into your expertise, and that is women's basketball.
Yes.
Let people know about your your background as far as where you came from and who you played for and everything.
Oh, so I graduated and I played at Florida A&M University for 2 years, where I'm in the record books about 10 times in different categories. I led the team in scoring both years that I was there. I've coached at the JUCO level, high school, younger kids, but I love basketball. I'm a student of the game. I say a student of the game, but I know what I'm talking about. I've played even before that. I hit my 1,000th point my sophomore year of college at my other schools. So I'm definitely a scorer. I could get it done. And now I just want to, promote these great schools, these great players, give them more recognition so that they get, the coverage that they deserve.
Okay. All right. So I'm jumping in on my laptop. So that's what's going on. All right. There we go. Whew. I had to get home.
You were like so much better.
All right, here we go. Here we go. We Let's see who we got up in here. We got Golden Boot. Got my boy Pooh Bear up in here. This is my main moderator, Mr. Quaid, Brother Bakari, Jay White from Alabama A&M. So yeah, we coming up in here. So y'all have to excuse me, okay? When you at work, you gotta wait for somebody to come back in from their lunch break, and they take too dang on long. That's what happened right there. So that's the reason why I did the part of the show from the car. So I'm apologize for that right there. But yeah. So as far as when it can, I know because I went to Jackson State and I followed Jackson State, immensely as far as football and basketball. I know with us losing Deshaun Ruffin and Mansell early in the season, losing Ruffin early, before the season started, and then losing Mansell went, at the beginning of the season, it kind of hurt us. But I think the way Coach Mo has the team running as far as playing almost a 4-guard lineup, Zeke Cook being able to crash the boards at his size at only 6'6",
Jordan O'Neal, even though he's an undersized postman, he shows flashes of getting to the basket, banging with the big guys, and he can hold his own. Especially when I see him, they play Howard and against Howard's big men, Seth Towns and Shy. I forgot his last name. Is it Shy Odom? So it's like one of those. It's like, okay, let's see what they can do. Let's see what they can do. And then running away against North Carolina A&T in the second game, where even though they made some mistakes and they had a big lead, and they made some mistakes. They still were able to keep the game within the distance of them not trying to, A&T trying to strike back and make a mini run to get themselves back into the game. But I like what I see with our team, especially, we talked about this on the Twitter last time. Even though we lost against Georgetown, we did have a lead in that game and almost beating them in BC. The California swing for us was kind of like it wasn't the best deal for us because of the simple fact that you got time change, you got you probably was flying for like 4 or 5 hours, so you got jet lag on there. You played and pretty much you went down, you played pretty much in the whole Southern California, San Diego region, and it kind of just got to you. So we dropped those 3 games in Southern California, taking on Memphis as our first game of the season against, Penny Hardaway, which I think, and you really I'm gonna really be honest with you, and I'm a Memphis fan too, so people don't beat me up, y'all. I'm a Memphis fan. I've been a Memphis fan since Penny was there. I like what I saw against when they played the Tigers up in Memphis, and I think when it all boils down to it, these last 2 non-conference games, one against I know we play tomorrow against Gonzaga, and then I forgot the last Northwestern in Chicago. Just basically kind of test our middle, and then once the SWAC plays, start up in January, we should be able to, I won't say breeze through, but we won't be able to get pushed around. And I think it's for all the teams in the conference too. And I ain't gonna just say about that state, but I just think for all the teams in the conference, we are going to be battle tested because everybody's going to try to go after that top spot when they get to the conference tournament. Because since now they're not going to do the NIT is not going to do regular season conference winners anymore. They're only going to do
your net rating.
Right, your net rating, which now you really have to be on point. And it's not just for the HBCUs, it's really for all the mid-majors that only have 1 bid though. So it's not to I just keep it a buck. It's not for just all the HBCUs, it's just for everybody that has a 1 bid league. If you win your conference tournament, of course you go to the NCAA tournament. If you had a strong enough, if you win your regular season tournament but lose in the conference tournament, let's just say you lose in the conference final. If your net rating, like you said, if your net rating is strong enough for you to get into the NIT, they'll select you. And that's the reason why. And I think that's the reason why majority of the teams in the SWAC scheduled themselves this year, because they knew what was going to happen when they, when the NCAA made that ruling. But on the women's side, let's talk about the women's side.
Okay, now listen. You guys know, if you follow me on Twitter, I keep it real. So, please don't come at me. But I keep it a buck around here, and I'm going to be very honest. There's pretty much all the talk of the town has been waiting for that last game in March, because they only play once, for when Jackson State and UAPB match up for that one single game, which honestly could end up being the decision of who gets the number 1 seed in the tournament, depending on how well they do in the rest of the conference play. But all the conversation I've seen, in my opinion, just based on personnel, those are the 2 top teams in the SWAC right now. My only concern with Jackson State is that White has not been playing, nor has she been traveling. So I'm not sure what the situation is there, and I hope she's good. It's never any pressure for, from me. I don't know if it's mental health related injury or, a violation of team rules, but they definitely I thought it hurt them in both the Oregon State game and the Mississippi State game that they did not have White to either start alongside Jackson or come off the bench for her. Mm-hmm. So that really changed. If I don't see her tomorrow night or when conference play starts, it really does honestly change the dynamic of the team, because I forget her name, so I apologize. When she comes in, it's their other post player.
Angel Jackson.
No, she's a sophomore. She's slender build.
Okay.
She played last game when White wasn't there, but it's just not the same body frame or the same, like, other teams aren't going to play her the same way. And so Angel Jackson ended up playing like 36 minutes that night. And I don't know if going through a whole conference season, if she can uphold playing 30 minutes, not saying she's not capable, but being a post player playing 36 minutes every night, being banged up, that could cause some question marks around Jackson State. So right now for me, I just have question marks of what's going on, because my other concern was shooting the 3, which last game they shot the 3 well. Those are pretty much the 2 quote unquote top teams that everyone's just been amped about, excited about. But the sleeper team really is Bethune. They have the best record in Division I HBCU basketball. They're currently 8-3. They just beat today Valparaiso from the Missouri Valley Conference by basically 30 points. Yeah, they're a sleeper team that I talk about them, no one else is really paying attention to them, but I think there's going to be a lot of teams who sneak up. In my opinion, it's really a fight for 3 through 8. Not saying Jackson State and UAPB don't have to go out there, perform every night, but just based on the skill that has been displayed, the size that they have compared to everyone else. Like UAPB has 2 legit 6'5" posts. Jackson State, I'm going to assume White is still on the team. They have 2 legit 6'5" posts. No one else in the conference is touching that. And so just based on size and skill and personnel, I know that those 2 will make the tournament. The rest is a fight and a battle for 3 through 8. And I'm telling you, there's going to be some shocks this season. A team is going to get caught slipping by Mississippi Valley. They're going to take that L. Because Shadaima McKnight, who's a newcomer, she has been killing, versus these big, huge teams that they've been playing against. Like, I believe against LSU, she had over 20 points in 15 minutes because she fouled out. She can go. Someone's going to get caught slipping this year, and I think it's going to be entertaining the entire season. But everyone's eyes are on what's going to happen when UAPB and Jackson State match up come March, because they play March 7th, and that's the only time they play this season.
Yeah, and I think we are all ready. We all waiting on for that game to come up. And I think, Coach Thornton and Coach Reed, they are anticipating that game. But we got close. We got 3 months before we even see that game right there. It's just now they just got to go through they got 2 more games. We got University of Miami and trying to figure out the next one we have as far as the women's go. I know it's University of Miami down in Coral Gables, and it's one
Yep,
more.
and that's tomorrow, and then they finish out at number 5 Texas.
Texas. Yes. Yeah, they'll be in Austin. Which is a good thing. That I actually like that. But hopefully whatever's going on with Daphne White, if it's just mental health or just something, everybody just needs to be patient about that, because we can't, we don't want to rush that. A lot of people don't, especially younger adults don't really know how to deal with that. Some people just don't know how to deal with that. I'm talking to a living testament over here. I really didn't know how to deal with that back in the day. But I know how to deal with it now. But if it's anything like that, let's just take our time. Let her take her time and let her get what she needs. Or if it's an injury, let her heal from the injury, or whatever the case may be. We just got to be patient about it. So we talked about you talked about Bethune-Cookman, who the Lady Wildcats they have been balling. You said they was 83, beating Valparaiso by over 30 points. We talked about Jackson State. Now the cream of to me, the Joe Frazier of the SWAC, which would be Pine Bluff.
Yes.
Don Thornton and Pine Bluff. First and foremost, if you have not watched Pine Bluff play, and if you ain't watched Zay Green play, y'all are tripping.
And you're missing out on some good basketball for real.
That girl is a hooper. She is a hooper. It's kind of like I put her in the same remnants of AI. Just wake up, one thing about hooping, get to the job, hoop, put shots up, and just just play the game. Like she plays, she look like she loves the game. Y'all need to watch this chick. Y'all need to watch her. Y'all need to watch her. And I listened to Golden Boot podcast last night. She was on their show yesterday. And she talked about she brought in 13 new players. Kind of kept the core with Zay and some other ladies that was on the team last season. But we talking about significant wins against SMU, and we talking about the big one against Arkansas, where Arkansas was coming in at 8-2. They wasn't ranked, but they was coming in at 8-2. We talk about this was the first win against the flagship school. We talking about the home. We talking about Fayetteville, Arkansas, the home of the Waltons, who is the home. It is the king of Walmart, and we talking about the home of Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson in football. We talking about them same Razorbacks right there. They went up there and they handled business. And give me your insight about what you think about Coach Thornton with her team when it comes down to it.
One thing about Coach Thornton, she can recruit. Like everyone, obviously Zay Green is an amazing player. Like she handles business, offense, defense. She really is a gym rat. I've listened to multiple interviews. She's done things that Coach Thornton has said. She lives in the gym. She wakes up. She wants to get better. But they also have a previous 4 and 5 stars in Beck, who was previously at Memphis. Their post players. They have also someone who I'm hoping is going to make her first appearance on Thursday in Star Jacobs, who was a 2-time transfer. So she's had to sit. She's a 6'2" forward. She's been player of the year in 2 other conferences she's played in. She played at Temple and then Texas Arlington, I believe. But
UTA.
yeah, she can go. And that's like the scary thing is we haven't even seen them at full force because she hasn't been able to play. But they're just a team who truly understands their role. They buy into the team. They know that like Zay doesn't play selfish. The game comes to her, but they have shooters around her as well who can hit the shots. They have interior players who can really control the paint. And when it's time to step up, they step up. They are probably like the most well-rounded team who have serious threats at every single position. Like I said, Zay gets a lot of attention and she should, but they got to the conference championship game last year without her. And that was the first time ever in school history. So that's just telling you without her what they can do. And now you're adding her in. It's going to be scary. But Coach Thornton said on a space I did with her, they're not looking past any team. They're going to go into every game and like know that they have to handle business. And as you shouldn't, every team should be respected in this conference. But they're exciting. They're just fun to watch. They're so high energy. The bench has energy. I mean, I think if they win the conference, they win the conference tournament and they get into the NCAA tournament, that whoever gets them first, if they make it, you're going to be in for a long night. So I'm excited to see where that team goes and how they continue to grow. They play Ole Miss on Thursday, which I think will be a good test for them to see if coming off that Arkansas win and the SMU win, where they're at. Because if they beat Ole Miss, they will definitely hop into the mid-major 25, in my opinion.
Yeah, and then they had a close. They had a close loss against UNT, North Texas.
Yep.
So
Oregon State.
Oregon State.
They played them close, and Mississippi State, they played them close. And that was what I looked at. I compared them to Jackson State because Jackson State played Oregon State and they played Mississippi State. So I was just looking at, like, I was kind of comparing where they were at. But yeah, they played a lot of teams close. They just needed to get over that hump, which Arkansas was that hump for them. So.
And yeah, we're talking, like I said, you're talking about two teams that pretty much almost recruit or pretty much almost have like the same type of team in where they have a guard that is top scorer, but then they also have the post players. They have one, the player like Talon Bowler, who is pretty much everything for Jackson State. Scored, rebounding, defending, passing. She is everything for JSU. And like I said, I want to see that matchup in March. I wish they would have played. I wish they would play in like at least February. If it can be February, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. But,
it's literally the week right before the conference tournament. So they're both should be playing their best basketball by that point. That's going to be a game. And it's at Jackson State. So
it's at Jackson State. And if Jackson, please pack out the AAC. That's something that we need to do. Pack that game out, because I promise you, y'all gonna be in for a treat with both of these squads right here. If it's C6,000, it should be 6,000 folks up in there, including the band and the JCs, and it needs to be packed March the 7th. So let's not sleep on these girls. Let's not sleep on these ladies right here, because they gonna come in there and they're gonna put on a show. They're gonna put on the show for the Jack, especially since Coach Thornton and Coach Reed are both from Jackson. Coach Thornton played at Jackson State. She's been a winner at everywhere she went, even when she was at Prairie View. Coach Reed, everybody know about the the folklore Coach Reed, what she has done, and she's been a winner everywhere she's been at. So we need to go out there and pack that AAC. Who other than Bethune, who is your other sleeper team on the women's side?
So I have a few, and it's funny because Jay White is in here talking about A&M. One, I'm an Alabama A&M fan, and if you follow me on Twitter, you know I'm an Alabama A&M fan because my pick for freshman of the year is on that team, and I think it's going to be a clear runaway that she gets freshman of the year, but it is them. That's another sleeper team. My only concern with them is their inside presence, and that's my big question mark for a lot of teams. So kind of the same thing as the men, because JSU and UAPB have very confident, aggressive, assertive post players who can score and defend. I have to see how everyone else's post players will match up with that, because for instance, Angel Jackson, when she played Mississippi State, she was the leading scorer, the leading rebounder. She had multiple blocks. So that's my only question, but they do have, like, A&M has guards who can light it up, who can score when they control the tempo. They have some really good wins this year. And that's just a team that I think people will look past because, you know, their posts are on the slenderer side, and they're right now, based on statistics, their best player is a freshman, but I don't think that should throw people off. And then the other one is Grambling. And I think people forget that they beat Arizona State in that SWAC Pac-12 Legacy Series game. They won that. Coach Simmons is in her first year coaching at Grambling. My choice, as of right now, my early pick for Defensive Player of the Year, and I know Angel Jackson was preseason, but my choice is off that team. They've played some really good teams. They can shoot the ball, they can push the tempo. Their defense is what will get them wins. So those are the two other teams that people need to really not look past. And like I say, don't look past anyone, because on any given night, someone could get beat. But Alabama A&M and Grambling are my other two sleeper teams that I feel like people are they're not giving enough attention to. I am, right, but other people aren't.
Right. So, let's get to it, because your conference champions, your conference tournament champions on both men and women's side, and MEAC and SWAC.
So for the MEAC women, I think Norfolk is going to win. I just don't think anyone has the pieces to beat them, especially if the restraining order against the NCAA stays put against two-time transfers. I think they're going to run away with that conference. I think men for MEAC, it will be Norfolk State. I think they may lose one or two games, but I think they'll end up winning it out. For SWAC, this is actually, for men, it's really hard. Like, this is actually, because I've been thinking about it, so hop to women. And you guys, this is just my opinion, and anything can happen, anything can change. But I've been saying this since SWAC Media Day. I don't switch up. I do think UAPB is going to win the conference this year. I just think they're so dynamic. They bring so many pieces. I do think Jackson State and them will battle, but I do think that they will end up winning that game. And for men, this is it is really hard, because it's been no really significant outlier teams to me. And I feel like on the men's side, every year, it's like people are barely scraping in to get to the tournament, and then a new winner. And so I think if I have to pick someone early on, I'm going to go with, oh my goodness, I don't even want to say anyone because I know it's going to be wrong because it's so even. But I'll have to say, just based on what I've seen so far, honestly, my gut is telling me to go with Jackson State.
Okay.
That's anything can happen, but like I said, the way Jordan O'Neal played in the HBCU Classic, if he can continue that and Evans Jr. can keep doing what he's like, the last 2 games he wasn't that consistent, but if he can continue to like be the scoring threat that he is, I think they could be a really good 1-2 punch with the people surrounding them. So that's
Okay.
just what my gut's saying right now. But anything can happen.
Anything can happen. So right now, with me on the men's side for the MEAC, it'll be a toss up between Howard. So it's a 3-team race for me. It'll be a toss up between Howard, Norfolk State, and North Carolina Central. They got to battle each other for the twice a season. On the women's side, of course, it's going to be a runaway with Norfolk. Howard might come up with a second, in second place like they did last season. On the men's side, I'm not going to sleep on Texas Southern. Don't take their record for granted.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take their record for granted right now, because they play some very tough teams. Now, they did get the L against North Carolina A&T in the HBCU Classic, but they did come around. They turn around the next day and play Howard and try to run them out the damn gym. So I still won't sleep on Texas Southern. I'm still gonna look at Jackson State, and we still got to look at Grambling and Alcorn when it comes down to it. On the women's side, my gut feeling, I want Jackson State to get it, but I have my gut feeling it's going to be Arkansas Pine Bluff. And the way that Coach Thornton got that team rolling, and she got it constructed, she really in a sense, her team is really constructed to beat Jackson State. It's just like back in the day. Everybody's team back in the day in the NBA was constructed to beat LeBron. That's I'm gonna put it just like that. But those are my teams that I see that will win the conference tournament. Because it might be a different way when it comes to the actual regular season champion.
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking about the conference tournament champion, because those are the ones that will actually get into the NCAA tournament. But other than that, let everybody know where they can find you at, and where they can listen to you, or they can watch you on YouTube.
You can follow me on Twitter at LivForHoops. I'm literally talking basketball all day. And you can subscribe to my YouTube, which is also LivForHoops. Once conference play starts, I'll get back into a lot more in-depth videos, breakdowns, analysis. But I do a lot on Twitter, and I really do know my stuff. And as you see, Jess and Ty they know. And even before, where you go, Kari was, I really do. I talk about men's and women and what I'm seeing. And so, yeah, I think it's going to be a great conference season. It's going to be very entertaining, and I think anything can happen. And people, make sure you're going to the games. Please make sure you're buying tickets and going to the games and supporting your women and your men's team. So
I don't have a major HBCU here in Dallas. So my HBCU here in Dallas is Paul Quinn. So I'm gonna start going to Paul Quinn games. I was supposed to be going to them last season, but I had ran into some little problems. But this season I'm going to Paul Quinn games, and I'm gonna take me some pictures on the sideline and stuff like that. And yeah, so wherever you at, go and check out an HBCU basketball game. It doesn't have to, it can be D1, D2, NAIA, independent, it don't matter. Go check them out. I appreciate you for coming on and talking basketball with us, because most of my time is dominated by football.
Trust me, we know.
If you ever watch my show, my whole show be dominated by football and what these schools trying to do and what we can do to help improve our schools. But I appreciate you for coming on. I will hit you back up on Twitter and see when you're gonna have another Twitter space, and we gonna, I help you with that as far as co-host, or Jess or Ty will help you with that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me on. So,
Anytime.
yeah, have fun talking about football in the crazy West that is going on.
I'm about to talk about it right now.
All right.
All right now. Oh man, that was good stuff on right here, because we need to talk about basketball a little bit since basketball is coming on. Oh, anyway, make sure that y'all become a subscriber. Hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel, HBCU Overdrive with Doc Holliday. Also, follow me on all social media platforms, on Twitter and on Instagram at HBCU_Overdrive. You can follow me under my real name on Facebook, David E. Smith Douglas. That's my real name. So yes, y'all can follow me on there. And if you can follow me on TikTok, Holiday 1925. That's where I'm at on TikTok. Other than that, make sure if you want to become an exclusive family member, just hit the join button on the outside. Everything that we do goes back towards the channel. And last but not least, if you want to hit the donation, the Cash App for the donation, the PayPal or the Zelle, on Cash App, HBCU Overdrive, PayPal, David Smith 1925, and on the Zelle, David E. Smith 30@gmail.com. So I had to put that out there. In and out. Yes, my mother named me that. I'm named after my dad. But anyway, y'all. Look, we're gonna get into what's going on in the West. Let me get this banner on right here, because I'm gonna get this banner going on right here. And make sure if anybody want to talk, anybody want to come up, let me know. We come up, we have a good old discussion. Anyway, what the hell is going on in the West? That's all I want to say. That's how I want to put it out there. We're gonna talk about this because I gotta get a piece of my mind about what's up right now. So earlier today, you all know earlier today, it was breaking news. It really wasn't breaking news to me. Fred McNair did step down. He told his staff that he is not returning to be the head coach at Alcorn State University. We talked about a man that it has been a staple of Alcorn in the matter of a player and as a head coach or as a coordinator, assistant coach. That McNair have been synonymous with Alcorn ever since he got there. We talk about in the late 80s, early 90s. Then his brother gets there, his other brother gets there, his nephew is there, his son is there. Like, you got it's the McNair going down the pipeline at Alcorn right now. But I got you, Dave. And make sure y'all send this, put it on Twitter, tell everybody to come on so we're gonna talk about this, because I got shit to get off my chest. And so yeah, we get into it. We gonna talk about it because he makes the decision to leave Alcorn. Of course, I think he wanted to stay at Alcorn. He wanted the years at Alcorn. He really wasn't too much worried about the money. But of course, the money is always going to play a role in when it comes to negotiations. That, trust me, don't nobody put no type of stock in not negotiating what the what the deal is going to be as far as you staying at a place or you leave it. So he goes and he tells his staff He's no longer going to be the head coach of Alcorn. So it is soon after Alcorn State puts out that memo, probably about an hour or so later, they promote and they name the defensive coordinator, Cedric Thomas, as the head coach, the new head coach of Alcorn State University. Now, Cedric Thomas was the defensive coordinator of the team when he got there. He also was the head person at Pine Bluff, who turned Pine Bluff around and made them into a scary team before he made his trek down to Lorman. Oh yeah, we got some heavy hitters up in here. What's going on, Jess? What's up, sis? What's up, Dave?
What's up?
Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Stay no business.
David, can't hear you.
That would do it. I got to get off of mute. That's the first step. What's going on, guys and gals?
You know what I'm saying? Hey, put that lager down.
No, I haven't drinking. No drinking. I did P&P. So I just.
My bad. So you have to be professional for.
Well, no, I mean, you know, I sometimes drink on P&P. I mean, when your team's 2-12, you know, alcohol it soothes it just a tad, but it ain't enough.
Nasty work.
Oh man,
nasty work.
And we won on Sunday.
That's good.
Didn't score a touchdown. 2 straight games, no touchdown, but we won.
Yeah, that was good. That is still.
So what y'all want off of field goals, Dave?
Yeah, 9-7.
I'm crying.
9-7. Now Bryce Young did lead down to led a 95-yard drive down to close to get a walk-off field goal. So
I can't say
got a game-winning drive. So
I can't say nothing because our Cowboys got their ass beat by
y'all did, and I picked y'all too.
You already know. I was already pissed.
I think the NFL is finally going to do it this year too, man. I think they're finally going to do it. They're going to
do what?
They're going to finally award an NFL MVP to something that's not a quarterback. It'll be the first time in a long time they've done that.
But yeah, man, let's get into it, dog. Let's get into it, y'all. So, okay. So, we already said it. Fred told the staff, hey, I'm not the coach of the team. I'm not going to be the coach of the school no more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, probably about 45 minutes to an hour later, they promoted Cedric Thomas as the new head coach of the team. Like I said, which it really, G told me, G actually told me this last week when he came on the show. He's like, I want Cedric Thomas to be the next head coach. There's no need for us to look around for anything. I want Cedric Thomas to be the next head coach. That's what happened, and that's what he got going on. Now, look, my man was penciled in to go down I-10, swinging and banging, hitting them, banging that screw, hitting the switches, getting to the third ward, and guess what? These dudes done pulled the rug up off from under him.
It's called the board.
We don't know that for sure, though. That's the thing. Like, Texas Southern never said anything officially. We're just going off of what we see on the media and what other people are saying.
Right. But here's my whole thing is, my thing about this, y'all, is the fact that they gave him an offer, right? They gave him an offer, and they gave him an offer last week. Now, I'm like, okay, look, it's Texas. Me and you, Dave, we talked about this earlier, right? In our chat. It's Texas. You ain't got to pay no state tax. It might be a little bit higher, higher life of living, the way of living is the cost of living, you know what I mean? The cost of living is going to be a little bit higher. But, I mean, it's still a good thing. It's still a good job for you to go to. You got a whole state that's football crazy that's at your disposal. That's your playground right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And you're like, hold on. Let me see what Alcorn's saying. Alcorn, you go back, they go into the drawing board. They try to give him more money, and I don't know if it was more money in less years and stuff like that. Because the way G was telling me is that because he was getting ready to hit retire, he could get his retirement fund, his pension from the state, since being with the state. It was more on the fact that just jumped off. It was more on the fact that it was the years that he's looking for. The years that he's looking for. And I'm like, okay. All right, what's the holdup? Because now you play, it's like you're really playing both sides. You know what I'm saying?
So there's levels to it, right? Like even if Texas,
tell me about the levels.
No, I'm just saying, like, because the thing is, like, folks gotta realize, and when Jess comes back, she can say I'm out of my mind or not. But in the grand scheme of things, you can agree to whatever you want to agree, but then it's got to go to that board. Like, if it's a state school, it's got to go to that board, and if the board be like, "Oh, nah, we ain't rolling," if everybody's not down to put the vote in to agree to everything, all that negotiation is a moot point. I feel for Fred a bit because he made the decision to move on, and now Texas Southern's like, well, we're not sure. And like there's reports going out that there's a couple folks holding out for Andre Johnson, which is wild. I don't know how accurate that is, but
Hold
that's
on now.
wild.
Hold on now. So then on my way home, right before I got home, right? I get the message from somebody sent me a message, right? And it's like, hey, Ed Reed is begging to be interviewed by Texas Southern. Like,
I saw that tweet.
Like, bruh, come on now. We've already said this. We already said this about Ed Reed. We've already said this. We already said this.
Turn your TV down. Just turn the TV down.
We've already said this.
Sorry.
You got it. We're gonna get you there.
We're gonna get to this point. But anyway, you had your chance before you put your name on the dotted line. You messed it up because you opened your mouth because, for one, you wasn't signed to the school. You go up there and you let off you let off about a 50 clip. You know what I'm saying? Like, you let the clip off. You just empty the clip on it. It's like, we ain't gonna have you because look, we ain't trying to get up. You're being volatile.
All right, so let me say this.
Go ahead.
Because when we talk about this kind of stuff, like I always say, I'm new to like the sports side of it, but like working in higher ed and stuff like that, I look at it from like just standard protocol and procedure and things like that in terms of professionalism. So multiple things can be true in one facet, right? You don't have to have another job to leave one job.
Right.
Like, that doesn't have to be. Like I said in the beginning, Texas Southern technically has not said anything. They really ain't said nothing about the coaching search. We just heard about the interim coach a couple of days ago, between the time that they let McKinney go. But technically, the institution that's the parent of these rumors and things like that, they have not said anything. So what we're running with is what the media is saying, hearsay, a rumor if you wish. But you can have sources from Wikipedia to encyclopedia. But if the institution ain't saying nothing, and of course Coach Mack isn't saying anything either, then everything is just speculation. So that's just going back to what's but that's facts. That's not opinion.
Right.
Like,
that is a fact.
Right. We can take all that out of it. So I'll play devil's advocate. First and foremost, I love Coach Fred McNair. He's a gentle giant. I appreciate him and everything, that he's done for the SWAC and Alcorn and things like that. But
Mhm.
although it would look terrible from a moral compass, if Texas Southern didn't hire him, you can't blame Texas Southern because they ain't say nothing. Everybody else did.
It's true.
Right. Right.
That's true. Discretion is a lost art, you know. And even if
Correct.
people know what the plan was, you're still supposed to keep quiet. And nothing's done until it's done. Like
Right.
that's just the way it goes. And before you got logged off, Jess, look, it's a public school. I'm pretty sure that public school got a board, and that board can stop anything.
And that Board of Regents is known for being, I mean, it goes back to when I was at Prairie View and you talking about
drag
Dr.
their ass.
Lane.
They
Yes.
drag their ass. They be
With
dragging
Dr.
their ass.
Lane.
Oh, with Austin Lane was the president at
Yes.
Texas Southern. They tried
Oh
to
my
drag that
gosh.
man for the field, bro. We're talking about, that's what I say. I got some shit to say about Texas Southern, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
That Board of
So
Regents up there.
You presented an offer to Fred McNair. He goes back to see what Alcorn says because in his heart of hearts, let me get y'all to understand, that man really wants to stay at Alcorn. He wants to retire as the Brave. He wants to retire in Mississippi. Don't get me wrong, but we always say this: football is a business. First and foremost, football is a business. But if the school that where you was at don't have that type of stability in Alcorn, they have an interim president, they have an interim AD. What other thing can you do for that school? Because you put your blood, sweat, and tears into that school, and it's like they're dragging their feet because, do they want you, or do they want to? You know what I'm saying? Do they want to leave you? They got the divorce papers ready for you, but they ain't ready to sign them yet. They just waiting on see what you gonna do. If you send your counselor, you know what I'm saying? I'm putting this in the thing of, Dave, we talking about we divorced. We talking about being divorced. Like, what you gonna do first before I sign this paper?
Yeah.
I mean,
and even with instability in leadership, I don't think a lot of people know Texas Southern is looking for a president too.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was only there for 2 years. It was a lot of smoke that was going up around her. She was only there 2 years. And she came in after Dr. Lane. And they're looking for a president too. And you never know which way the wind blows when it comes to AD. So, you can say that, Doc, but then I'm gonna play devil's advocate again. Because if you want to talk about interim leadership, then how can an interim leader name a head coach? Because if Dr. Cook is gone in 6 months and Mr. Raines is gone, who's the AD at Alcorn in 6 months, well, if there's a new AD that comes in and he says, well, I want to go a different route with the head coaching position, then what?
True.
And if that happens, then you're going to just roll with an interim coach through the season because there's no way you can make a coaching change until after the season at this point. Because early signing day is tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah.
You got, and that's why I keep saying, well, there's a lot of instability in a lot of positions right now, and that's above the head coach, right? And sometimes you got to have those things in place before you can do something. You could argue that maybe that might be part of the reason why McNair didn't get an extension unless they made the call that they weren't going to give him one, or they just wasn't going to try to pay him what they wanted to pay him.
But Dave, some will argue that you want to have not to take away from the importance of a head coaching position, but some will argue that you want to have those lower level administration positions like head coaches field before you try to look for a president. Because, I mean, let's be real. When you look for a president, you probably going to end up looking for a provost too. And we know that the provost is the heart of the institute. I mean, that's the brain. The kids are the heart, like whatever. And so there is so much that these boards, that these governing bodies are up against already, trying to figure out a head coaching position. And if the AD is not competent, or he or she is not is not superior in time management, or you have cronyism and nepotism that remain to be prevalent across the board, then, at the end of the day, I always say the student is the most important element of the institution. And a lot of times it seems like when decisions are being made, especially from what I've seen, the student isn't always at the forefront of that decision making. You can put kids on a search committee all day long, because why would you not? But that doesn't mean that you're taking their word into account. I've been on plenty of search committees as a student, but they didn't listen to us.
Lord, you got Dr. Kamisha up in here because she said she was gonna do something.
Dr. Ho!
We got Dr. You got Dr. Kamisha. Look, and it's just my thing about this is that it's just the fact that gotta get somebody in there. You got early Saturday coming in. Now I know that I knew that they named the interim head coach for now to keep the team to keep the team afloat and make sure that they still get the recruits that they want, they need to get. But if you gotta get that man in there to come in there and take charge. It just kind of right the ship. And we was talking about this day with the interim president. Who was we talking about? What was the Grambling?
But it looks like my man ain't left yet.
No, he don't leave till January. That's the reason why.
So good. That's what we figured out. So like, all right, that's the reason why.
That's the reason why we was like, the interim president. I mean, they can still make decisions and stuff like that. It's not like how. Okay, so it's not like how Bethune did, because they had an interim president and the board of trustees was the end all be all.
Well, but a lot of institutions that's the case, unless there's an understanding. Because I say this all the time about A&T. I'm like, yes, everything's got to go through the board, but what Chancellor Martin wants typically is what he's gonna get. Depending on the role. Yeah, but I think at this point, when it comes to the chancellor, and he's retiring at the end of this year, I think after what he's been able to do for that institution, if he says he wants X, odds are pretty high he's gonna get X, right?
But you don't get a lot of Chancellor Martins, Dave.
I know. So and then you don't know how, like you said, you don't know how the board is structured. If it's like a thing where the politicians pick the board. Mm-hmm. And so the president's just sitting here, and sometimes the board will be like, all right, now we got to get this president out of here type of thing. And then if you're always going to be in a grid like get things done, then that punishes everybody.
So now we're still looking at the instability right now at Texas Southern, because they're the only team in the West, in the whole SWAC right now, that don't have a head coach.
But they got an interim coach.
They got an interim coach, but what I'm saying is they don't have
him yesterday.
They did.
No, what, the interim coach?
Yeah, like a day or two ago.
No, they announced him like right after McKinney. No, they announced it. McKinney.
Did I miss that?
When McKinney, they said that McKinney's contract wasn't gonna be renewed.
I must have missed it because I didn't see it
until I was in fact, I was on that conference call when that happened, because McKinney had to go to a funeral, and that's when Dr. Cavill kind of said, "Nah, we ain't gonna do that," because Dr. Cavill is on both. He go both sides. Mm-hmm.
They're just not reporting the interim coach now, though. Because it's just like I'm looking at the tweets. It's Charles Nichols, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay,
like,
so
if they're just now announcing this now. Yeah, like
because remember McKinney's contract was expired the 15th.
Oh,
yeah, do it. That's what it was. Yeah, his contract wasn't up until the 15th.
That's the reason why they named him now. But that I knew they had one in place. They just had to name him. You probably want to put the name out there. Yeah, they ain't saying nothing. But
Texas Southern's Board of Regents is its own Board of Regents in the state. So the governor appoints everybody that's on that board. They have their own student regent that serves on the state level, which makes them different from, Prairie View, because we're in the A&M system, and the other HBCUs in Texas are all private, so they have their board of trustees.
Wait. So let me get this straight. So you're telling me that The governor appoints the board of regents.
For Texas Southern, yes.
No, I'm talking focus on Texas Southern.
Greg Abbott.
Greg, what we call them? Hot Wheels.
Governor Hot Wheels.
Governor Hot Wheels.
So, like I said, like I don't know if you heard, but there was a report out. We don't know what's going on, but supposedly 2 members on that board of regents is holding out and have Andre Johnson as the head coach.
Yes.
And if that's the case, man, it's gonna be a while.
And if one of them is the members that I'm thinking of, which is like a right-hand man to Governor Abbott, he gonna hold out.
Well,
man, all you gotta do is to push that man out of his wheelchair and tell him get up.
But when people allow you to have autonomy over something like that, Doc, then you feel like this kind of stuff is okay.
Yeah, I can't say nothing about how Texas Southern Board of Regents is because it's the same way with the IHL in Mississippi.
Well, look, y'all. Let me tell you something.
It's the same way as the same way as the IHL in Mississippi. They appoint all the presidents of all the state-supported schools.
You ready? Y'all ready to hear a story?
Yeah.
The UNC Chapel Hill chancellor just took the job at Michigan State. They appointed an interim chancellor for UNC Chapel Hill that has no higher education experience.
No higher ed experience.
So I'm sitting here as an Aggie. I'm sitting here as an Aggie while we're going through the search of our chancellor. Like, what?
What
in the hell?
Cronyism. It's
so like, and the thing is, and I say, and y'all be joking about the 27-game losing streak A&T had, but let me tell y'all something. When that happened, we had instability at the chancellor position.
Man, try 80.
It drove.
No. I'm not trying that. I'm not trying that.
I'm about to say, did it drive you to drinking? Did it drive you to drinking?
Let me tell you something. That's why I say it's imperative that the band has to slap. The band must slap. It is imperative that the band slaps. If it does not slap.
You see what Blue said? Blue said if Texas Southern hired Andre Johnson and leave Fred without a job, he's gonna lose his shit.
Listen, man.
It's gonna be a lot of people that have a lot of things to say, but the way that these people are thinking at that level is nobody told y'all that was credible. And so you may not like the fact that we didn't hire Fred McNair, but we never told you that. And the way these people will go out to eat for a steak after making a decision, who's being added to the call and why am I hearing myself?
Because
they don't care about none of that.
It's
time for me to go then. Well, it was nice talking to y'all.
No.
It was nice.
G's been straight today. G been straight for the whole day.
On all day.
The whole time.
G is maniacal, man. G's maniacal for no reason.
G, but you know what though? He came last week he came on the show. You said the same thing. I was like, he's like, who you gonna get? Who's that? Mr. Ford asked, who you gonna get as a coach? You said Cedric Thomas.
No questions asked.
Cedric Thomas. I said you get Cedric Thomas as a head coach. You keep Jason Phillips as your offensive coordinator. You pretty much your whole coaching staff around. Only thing you gotta do is hire a special teams coach.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Other than that,
I like Coach
Alcorn has the stability.
See, I try to tell folks about this Texas Southern situation. I try to tell folks. Fred told me like I don't have a contract.
Hold on, G. Hold on, Doc. You said Alcorn has the stability where?
With the coaching staff. Because Coach Thomas ain't getting rid of all them folks.
He gonna bring back the defense staff for sure. I still know about the offense.
But yeah, what you said, G though?
I was saying I told them folks last week about this news that just broke with Texas Southern. Like everybody was saying he was hired at Texas Southern. I'm like, Fred told me personally that he never had a contract with. They never offered him anything at Texas Southern. So you're listening to these people, and it's just like,
yes.
Well, the first person who broke the story was Ken Rashad at HBCU Sports.
And I told him from jump, I'm like, bro, Mac, when it broke, Mac was sitting in a meeting, and our running back coach showed him it, and it was like he bust out laughing at it. And so
that goes back to my whole point. People can feel how they want to feel about it, but Texas Southern University has not issued anything regarding Fred McNair. So the media, I'm putting it on whoever. Like I said, you can have sources from Wikipedia to encyclopedia, but if let's really run on the surface here. Institutions hire people to formulate these statements to make these kind of announcements. Like Alcorn put up that little kindergarten letter yesterday about that media, whatever happened in that film. Like, somebody gets paid to do this kind of work. So this is kind of where I start to side-eye the media, because, you know, when you take a step back from it, from the business standpoint and from the professional standpoint, we're talking about people's livelihoods here.
Yeah.
And if people are aware, you know, we don't know the conversations that they're having with their families. We know the kids. Imagine being on Twitter and seeing something, sources say that your head coach is leaving, and the head coach ain't told you nothing. And he's developed you from, you know, whatever point.
I was saying this when Texas Southern, when they was looking for a coach, I had two coaches in mind. I was like, take y'all asses up I-45, head up to South Dallas County. You either go to the DeSoto to get Claude Mathis, or you gonna go down 36. You gonna go to 3601 South Marcellus Avenue.
Come on, Todd.
Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all a story.
Come on, man. It is not rocket science. You get that man right there. Look, he gonna make more money than he's making at DISD, because I know he's the head coach and he's the assistant athletic director. And he got, and it's like, come on, the head athletic director is the head boys basketball coach in South is James Mays. He's a Prairie View alum. Jason is a Texas Southern alum. Come on now, you got connections down that way.
I want to get back to this media thing, man, because for me, it's always boiled down to me with this. It's not about whether or not you're right. It's about being first. It's always about being first.
I can't stand it.
It's about being.
But we also have to put blame on our administrations, because I'm gonna tell y'all personally.
Go ahead.
I've done it, right? 100%. And I've had an AD tell me, put this out for me. I've had a president tell me, put this out for me.
Same
you know,
here.
Like I've had it. So that goes back to like having people in place and just, I don't know. But I've came like, look, bro, put this out there for me. You sure? I got you. I'm gonna do it for you, my boy. I'm gonna do it for you. Put this out there for me. I had an AD text me Saturday morning. Saturday morning. To put something out there. And he texted me back later. I'm glad I was asleep, because he texted me back. He texted me at like 8. And he texted me back again at like 10:30. Like, hey, no, don't worry about it. Well, I'm glad I was asleep, because now I like, see, that's why but we got a good relationship. So I like, man, that's why I don't mess with you. You know what I'm saying? So they just do that sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is just trying to, you know, hype, right? Because this is what these people do.
Sometimes you do it just to get a primer. Because I said this when the whole thing happened, when they were talking about how we're going to the CAA. There's no doubt in my mind that went out there just to see what the pulse of the room was looking like.
Yeah,
right.
That was all about the pulse in the room.
Yeah,
for sure.
You know, because if nobody cared, they would have been gone. No doubt in my mind, they would have been out of there. But because of the vitriol that happened when it was announced, when the article came out, and then it started gaining some traction, they were like, "Oh yeah, we can't do this."
And that's how I feel about this situation. I haven't heard anything from the institution. I consider G credible when it comes to Alcorn State University. But even G's not saying what the media sources are saying.
Right.
But the way I see it is, if I don't know G, but I know HBCU sports and HBCU Premier and things like that, then that's who I'm going to run with. But I don't know that Alcorn State does have someone who is far more in the know than maybe these other people, because G's 100% correct. These administrators will hit specific people up to get information out there. And sometimes it may be out of emotion, so then they'll come back and then they'll be like, never mind.
Yeah.
And then and then sometimes it's, I want you to say it because I know you're going to say it the way I want to say it, but I can't say it because of the position that I'm in.
Yep. That's a good,
You know
that's a
what
good
I'm saying?
point.
So, my whole thing is, then we get on here, we see begging ass Ed Reed sounding like Keith Sweat.
Man, I don't give a damn about
I
that.
say give him the cheese.
I could care less.
Hire him. I'll be a season ticket holder.
If somebody's gonna hire, more power to the institution. If they think that he's the best guy best guy for the position, good luck to him.
Okay, but devil's advocate, do we believe that he doesn't deserve a second chance?
I don't think so.
I think he's gonna get it. I think he's gonna get it because of the resources he can potentially bring. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. He's gonna get it at some point, maybe not this year.
This is my pushback on his resource. What resources could he bring? People don't understand that Ed Reed was the chief of staff in Miami and couldn't get nobody to Miami. With all the resources, all his name, he was a high school coach in New Orleans and they got beat to death. Like, I just don't understand his resources they talking about.
Because it's about, and for me, it's more about, it's one thing about working for Miami. You know what I'm saying? It's another thing if you go to like a HBCU where the athletic budget is like a 10th of the football program for Miami. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he could bring different levels of eyeballs that could potentially bring resources in. Now, that being said, once he walks away, because he will walk away, just like I said about Dion, he will walk away in 2 to 3 years or whenever he's tired of this, right? He ain't gonna be no staple.
But see, as far as that, I don't think many businesses deal with Ed Reed like that. He's not like Dion was. We had businesses already. Ed Reed does not have any endorsements. The only endorsements that he has is things that he's like his cigar line that he owns. Companies don't mess with Ed Reed like that because he's a hothead. Anybody that's from Louisiana know Ed Reed. Ed Reed is a hothead. He's been a hothead. He was down at BCU punching golf courts. That's who he is. And there's a reason why this man is considered the best safety in the world. No one will hire him. This man is considered the best safety ever. Nobody will hire this man. Nobody.
Not even Dion.
Not even Dion. Because there's a reason. He has a reputation. So what he thinks is, let me go to these HBCUs because they're desperate and they'll hire me. No, buddy. You ain't got enough resources for that.
Well, he ain't built like that either.
You ain't.
We saw
and
that.
I wouldn't necessarily call us desperate. Semantics.
Exactly. That's what he thinks.
But I think
I'm not saying we're not desperate.
Yeah,
right.
But he thinks that.
Yeah, desperation is too close to desolation for me. And
Blue just said it right there.
I agree with Blue. I do. People are confusing resources with name. I absolutely do.
Man,
somebody's gonna do it.
Yeah,
I don't think they should, but somebody's gonna do it. Somebody is going to do it. Somebody's gonna do it.
This is not new behavior for Ed Reed. This is not new behavior for Ed Reed.
It does not matter.
It's not
somebody is going to do it.
Somebody gonna do it, G.
Somebody. Somebody. You know who's gonna do it? You know who's gonna do it? I know exactly who's gonna do it. I know who's gonna do it. Virginia University in Lynchburg.
Hell no. You gotta make me really tough on it. The fuck?
Listen, it has to be a president.
What?
It has to be a president who's like not really connected with athletics and who gives almost full autonomy to the athletic director, and the athletic director is looking for something. And I don't want to make it seem like I'm making a general statement because I don't know what it's like to be an AD or a president, but somebody just has to say, yeah, we got it. We just need some oomph. So of course, anybody hiring Ed Reed at this point is going to bring oomph, because what are they always going to revert back to? BCU.
I just remember when we let Sam Washington go. And I'm looking in the Aggie streets, and somebody said, "Why don't we go get Ed Reed?" And this is before the whole Bethune-Cookman thing popped off. And I said, "Absolutely not, absolutely not." And I didn't even know what he was. I just was like, I don't want somebody here that's like a, you know, I didn't want a celebrity coach. Like, I didn't want a guy here that's gonna just, that I don't know that they're gonna have a chance to be here long term. I said absolutely not.
G, do you want a celebrity coach for Alcorn?
No, never. You know, I don't know if y'all know Leslie Frazier was in the running. So Leslie Frazier came down to a game.
Not Leslie.
Leslie Frazier came down to, what game was there? Was there the Mississippi Valley? One of the games came down to this year and it blew up. Took pictures at Alcorn. And he made a statement like, "This is my first time back at Alcorn in 40-something years." Like I was never on that bandwagon. I took a picture with him. Nice to meet him. I was never on that bandwagon.
I wouldn't even think Leslie Frazier is a celebrity coach anyway, because he's
got a lot of experience in the NFL.
He got a lot of experience in the
NFL head coach
and defensive coordinator. So I mean, I don't see as far as him being a celebrity head coach.
Leslie,
I see him. He's a coach.
He's a coach, but but that's, it goes back to the whole resource discussion, because he can make phone calls that most coaches can't because of his NFL tie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I say this to that. Okay, he can make phone calls, but I was talking to Hugh Jackson. This was off the record, and one point he made to me, he told me I could share. Is like, when he got to Grambling, he had all type of resources, but his resources and the guys he were cool with and had relationships with weren't for the movement, HBCU movement. So they wanted to be paid. So all his guys are in upper echelon tier pay grade. They're not coming down here to make $60,000 to be a running back coach.
That ain't the resources I'm talking about. It's more like the folk, like if you know the people that can give to the institution pieces of the puzzle that they potentially need, a new locker room, maybe a new field, like things like that.
Okay.
But what are they doing this for? Out of good faith? I mean, as somebody who doesn't understand this realm of it, how would you have that conversation as a head coach if you're trying to get somebody to essentially give money to make wherever your situation is better? How does that conversation go?
But in essence, like when you hire a head coach like that, they end up becoming the AD or a portion of the AD, right? Because truth be told, that's what the athletic director is supposed to be doing. He or she is supposed to hire somebody that their primary job is to raise funds and raise resources for the athletic department. Like that's like every institution, like there's institutions that have teams. That's why when we kept moving to these conferences, I was like, the first thing I did was I looked at the staff of like one of the schools in the conference and I compared it to ours. And I looked at the numbers, I'm like, these numbers don't come up. We're gonna get abused here. We're gonna get beat down to the red meat at this point. Like it's gonna be bad because we can't compete because with the resource delta. There's some pockets where we were there and there's some pockets that we weren't.
Right.
You know, and that's how you get 1 and 10. Like it's just you got to be able to compete. So like when you bring somebody in that should have that type of pull, or you think they do, then you expect them to help fundraise. And I'll be honest, and I'm not the biggest Deion fan. I think Deion probably got some level of frustration about the situation where he was like, yeah, I'm doing all this stuff. A lot of this stuff is not my job to do. I was just supposed to coach. My job is to coach. No. Look. I'll never forget a quote that Rob Broadway said when he first came to A&T. And he was like, my job is to coach. Y'all job is to make sure I have the proper resources to have folks that are eligible so they can play. But my job is to coach the players that I have. I'm the head football coach of the institution. You guys are supposed to make sure that they have the proper resources from the academic side so they'll be eligible to play as well. Like you got to have
true, and that's problematic in a lot of places. And if anybody tries to argue with that, then they're just being difficult.
It's true. Because when Broadway showed up, the APR and A&T was it was bad, man. So there's a lot of elements to it. So when you bring in those type of coaches and they end up doing 2 jobs, they're not going to be there that long. They're just not.
Right.
But it's always going to be an interesting discussion when it comes to that. But the Texas Southern situation, man, signing day is tomorrow, guys.
Yeah, and I'm gonna keep saying it. Texas Southern never said anything.
I know, but
they never said. How the song go? They never said a mumbling word.
They really did. But they
didn't.
never offered Fred a contract. Never. They've never offered Fred a contract. That's why when it was breaking news, Fred has agreed to what? He didn't got a contract yet. So
it's about being first.
Yeah.
It's always about being
where's
first.
the integrity? Like, imagine being a source and it's like, oh yeah, we can always rely on this person to be first, but it's like a 50% chance they're gonna be right.
So it don't make no sense you being first because it's like,
So then why are you doing it? Are you doing it to be relevant or are you doing it to be respected? Because if you have a 50% chance of being right, I'm going to look at 3 other places.
A lot of them do it to get paid.
That's it.
Because that type of stuff gets you clicks.
Yeah, for sure.
It's gonna get you buku. It's gonna get you clicks.
Yep.
A lot of them,
and the thing is, that pays the bills, man.
Yep.
Like, but at the same time, you got to decide what you're gonna be.
Yeah.
Like you gotta make decision of who you're gonna be.
Yeah. It might pay the bill today, but if you wrong, you're gonna be able to keep doing this.
But you know what? Sometimes it's not about being right. It might not be about being right. Sometimes you just want to be first. Like, you know, I always have a funny joke about TMZ because
what is it?
The thing about TMZ, whenever TMZ wants to solve something or figure something out, God damn it, they figure it out.
Yeah.
They always end up being first, and then they get the denial, and then like about a week later, everybody else is reporting what they already told y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Because them cats, and that's why I say, like, if we ever wanted to figure out the Brett Favre money situation that happened in Mississippi, put TMZ on the case. That should be solved in 2 weeks. Just put that on the case. They'll have all the data you need. And Favre be in jail. Because they're really good at, like, they're really good at getting information out fast, and they typically tend to be pretty accurate at doing it.
But
unbelievable.
You know, when it comes down to it, like, I really don't want to, like, do I really want to go out and try to crush the credibility of Kendrick Marshall? And,
no, but that's the thing, right? You can be wrong. You can.
Are you sure you don't? Because how many times are we gonna have to deal with it until somebody comes in crushing them like soda cans? Like, I mean, somebody has to maintain the element of integrity somewhere, because then we feel some type of way when other outlets take the information that we have and they don't word it correctly, but they're right.
Right.
So I mean, what you want to do?
Right. So
what info says? What's it gonna mean?
I just remember there was some things that I was told about certain things with the Panthers, and they asked me to keep quiet, and I kept quiet till it got reported till somebody y'all cared about said something about it, like when the Christian McCaffrey trade happened, or you know.
Everybody can't keep quiet though, Dave.
That's the problem, right? There's no discretion. There's no discretion.
Yeah.
There's no discretion.
And then when you call them out, they get quiet.
they get mad and they get on Twitter and start blocking you because, you know.
Then you end up on a PowerPoint. Like, come on now.
Well, I gotta, you know, me and Ken, I didn't beat him up too much about the whole article he came out about the Band of the Year thing, but I let it slide. I tried to be nice that day.
Dave, who you think won?
A&T and Florida Memorial. I think Florida Memorial was a blowout. I don't think Florida Memorial was even close.
Boy,
like,
you better get my blood boiling over here.
But I think A&T JSU was. You'd be all right, man. I think A&T and JSU was really close. But I think
if we do a battle of the bands right now, we blow your ass out down
in the stands. This ain't the stands.
And
even with the stands,
ain't no drum feature in this shit or nothing like that. We gonna wax y'all.
And that's why y'all lost, because everybody's been rolling with the same rubric all year. The rubric ain't changed all year.
Y'all used to that. Y'all, I mean, but
no, I mean, because look, man, it's just like, listen, man, I'm in a fraternity, right? You do these step shows. The step shows have criteria.
True.
So at one point, my chapter won 13 straight homecomings, 13 straight GOs. We showed up. We knew what the criteria was. They even try to Tiger Woods this occasionally. They changed the criteria. We adjusted, and we just still destroy y'all. The criteria is there. You know what you need to do. You execute. That's what we did. I came up with a name of the show too, because they just called it the Band of the Year before, but I came up with a name for the show. I call it the Petty Show.
Man,
the song selections they picked on that shit, straight petty. The song titles, petty. Turn up the music. Turn up the music. Hate me now.
I'm sorry I asked, dog.
I'm not gonna say nothing about that, but we can argue about that for a whole nother
We
day.
could, man. It's all right, man. It's always next year. It's always next year.
We still on football.
Well, look, what is the left?
We in these HBCU streets right now on football because I'm trying to figure out. We already know Texas Southern ain't said shit about who they're gonna get as their head coach. They done had. I knew they interviewed Brett Maxey. I knew they sure did interview Mickey Joseph because when they interviewed Mickey Joseph, Mickey was already getting his staff, settled in, together because he knew he was gonna eat. He knew he was gonna get a job. But even my niece, like I said, my niece is a junior at South Oak Cliff. She was telling me, she's like, Uncle David, yeah, he interviewed for the job, but he said he might not take it. I'm like, shoot. When money talks, unless he got the integrity for his kids and stuff like that, and I understand that, but I told my niece, I said, money talk, shoot, you gonna change, you gonna sing another tune. I don't care what anybody say. You get paid more than what you get paid now. Hey,
you think so? I think peace.
It's more than pay for me though. I think it's more than pay.
Yeah, it's more than pay. But I'm just saying though, like in a sense, like on a real though, because we living in a world like for real, money talk. Money talk unless you have that moral compass. Some of us had that moral compass. I ain't gonna say most, cause shoot, I'm like,
Justice out here. Justice out here flossing, but we ain't gonna hold you.
What happened?
Everybody talking about the dual phones that you got.
Oh, sorry, y'all. My camera been off this whole time. I forgot what's on here.
Now you good? I thought it was funny. They're like, "Yo, man, you got a burner phone?" I'm dying in the chat. They're like, "You got a burner phone?"
And I do. The ones that I block as soon as I get the number, it's on the purple phone. Go Panthers!
You know what?
The song says, "With peace like a river," and I feel like once people get to the level of like being head coaches and stuff like that, me personally, I feel like it might be more about money. Like Jason Todd, for instance. Do I really want to step away from that and level up and step into higher education? Because let me tell you something. Higher ed is a different beast.
Yeah.
You dealing with hormones and attitudes in high school, cool. But higher education, and we already know at HBCUs, you wear multiple hats. It doesn't stop. At the higher ed level, something Ty and I have been talking about for weeks now has been the job far well done that Coach Riss is doing at FAMU in the recruiting area.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not something that I ever looked at before really stepping into this space about the role of having a director of recruiting or somebody out there to do that. You got coaches who are in. I know it might sound puerile, but it's new to me. You got coaches who are position coaches and recruiting, and husbands and fathers, and your counselors, and you are doctors. Sometimes you're academic advisors. Baby, these college kids, God bless their hearts. They're young adults already sacrificing so much. You got to be full-time students to compete. Then you have another governing body standing between you and your institution, that's NCAA, so on and so forth. Blows my mind the dedication that these coaches put into the programs. And so if I'm a high school coach, I graduated from an HBCU. If this is the problem we were having 15, 20 years ago, not trying to age coach Todd at all, why would I step into that? Not saying that you shouldn't, because eventually somebody's going to have to, and somebody's going to have to come in there and shake the table. But if I'm okay with where I'm at, why would I step into that?
Yep.
Right.
It ain't
But,
always about the dollars, man. Because like I said this when we were talking about Chennis Berry. I think everybody thought Chennis Berry was heading to Southern.
Right.
But then when you think about the different,
it was a lot of us. It was a lot of us people thinking he was heading to
because
Southern.
it was pretty much his to say no to in the grand scheme of things.
I said my prayer, keep Black Thanos up in South Carolina.
But think about the difference between the Southern job and the South Carolina State job. The Southern job, they just let go of a guy after 2 years because he ain't win the SWAC. And there's probably other reasons too, right?
Well,
but they just let
he's been coaching for 30 years.
So is Chennis Berry. Chennis Berry was on a 1-10 team for A&T. He was on the staff.
Well, how many more chances you gonna get in the same conference?
As many as you want.
But it's like we said, man.
But to finish my point, right? Let me finish my point real fast. So Southern, they're out here getting rid of coaches at a much rapid rate. South Carolina State keeps their coaches forever, ever. Like forever, ever. Like they've had like 2 coaches over the last like 35, 40 years. Like they keep their coaches.
There's a
stability there.
The one coach left and then he came back.
Yeah. Willie Jeffries left to go coach FBS and then came back.
And that's what's attractive. That's what's attractive. Stability.
Yeah.
Stability in leadership.
And you only had to drive up the street.
Yeah, having a job. I didn't have to pack up and really just move a U-Haul, nowhere like that. And something else that I think people sometimes forget, where our institutions are, especially in the SWAC, these locations are not really attractive. What might attract people are the roles, like a football program like Alcorn State, not to take away from Coach Thomas, but I'm just saying that is the story of Alcorn State football has some celebrity to it within itself. So why would I not want to come coach at Alcorn? Why would I not want to come coach at Grambling? But you got to come to Lorman, Mississippi, and just because I've been to Alcorn enough to know, you're probably not. Well, you're not living in Lorman. You're not living in Port Gibson. You're probably living in Natchez or Vicksburg. Mississippi Valley is the same way. UAPB's. The majority of these SWAC schools are not attractive, like Texas Southern in Houston, like FAMU in Tallahassee, like Southern in Baton Rouge. I mean, because you got LSU there. So I always like people to remember that. The roles themselves attract people, but it's still hard to get people there. And it goes beyond pay. You got to get people to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to pack up and I'm going to move here.
The MEAC doesn't have that problem. I can tell you that now.
That's why I ain't into y'all day.
Crazy.
Huh?
That boy Nick crazy. He said talking about he entered the transfer portal because the SWAC is too much.
It's true.
Who is Nick?
Nick Eden. He does the calendar. He does the weekly calendar.
Oh yeah, okay.
Now the MEAC doesn't have it. MEAC got a lot of pretty big cities in their conference. I mean, I think out of all the cities, I mean, Orangeburg's but you close enough to Columbia to get an itch. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Durham's a major city, DC, Baltimore, Dover is kind of rurally, but I mean it's cool. Dover's cool.
Now I'm looking at Twitter, y'all, and that boy Stephen Gaither, they is on it right now. They already put it up. Texas Southern job is still open to every at TSU this evening. Come on now. Hey, I'm looking at it. But I'm gonna be honest with you. It just like you said, because of the way that his temperament, like you said it, his temperament is, ain't nobody gonna hire him. Like they're not gonna hire you because, like you said, he's a hothead. You gotta learn how to control your emotions and understand. So you can have passion for what you do and how you do it, but at the end of the day, your emotions have to be in check because you're not only is you're working at the university, you're representing the university, but these kids are looking at you and be like, okay, man, somebody go get coach. He having a damn meltdown, like for real. And then also like we all learned. I think if you really look at it like this, every school, every HBCU has learned their lesson from what we saw with the Bethune-Cookman situation, as far as what he did out there, unloaded a clip on Instagram Live, which he should have never been there. And I feel like you shouldn't have even stepped on campus until that ink was dry.
BCU took some.
But whose fault is that?
Right, BCU needs some.
BCU got to take some of that heat too.
They take some heat. They take some of the heat too. But you know what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, you are your own worst enemy because of the simple fact that you don't have control over your emotions. Now, this thing about Andre Johnson, because he's still staying in Houston, he's well respected around the community, around the city. I don't know if that's going to be a good fit, because
it's a better fit than Ed Reed.
It'll be a better fit than Ed Reed.
Well, then what happens to Fred McNair?
There you go.
Oh, there are some other jobs available out there in these streets. Not HBCU job. Well, no, there's some in Division II, but that would be devastating for him, man.
Don't be disrespectful to Fred.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful. No, I'm not. No. Let me be clear. I'm not trying to be disrespectful at all. But if the Texas Southern job does not go to Fred, there ain't no more Division I HBCU jobs left. There's no more left. That's it. That's the last one.
Unless Norfolk State say we're gonna get rid of Dawson.
Norfolk State. And let me explain that. Norfolk State is not getting rid of Dawson Odoms.
Oh, yeah, you got that.
You forgot. Nope.
No. I didn't say there wasn't. I didn't say there wasn't FCS programs that didn't have jobs. But Campbell is right. Campbell is available. But they got the interim right now. They got an interim coach currently. Campbell is available because Mike Minner has resigned to say he was going to look for other opportunities, which I thought was very fascinating.
He probably already got one. You know they be lying too.
He probably does, but look, Mike Minner is like beloved in the Carolinas. He's probably the best safety that the Panthers has ever had.
That's
so
cute.
I got the interview a few years back. Well, about a year or so ago.
So I think, if I'm Texas Southern, do you look at him because he was a head coach
with that Board of Regents? I don't even know if I would. If I was Texas Southern, I would. Right. Because even I think folks have been giving Mike Minner heat because he's only had 3 winning seasons. But you got to remember when he took over the head coaching job. Well, folks don't know this because it's HBCU show. When he took over the head coaching job at Campbell, he was in the Pioneer League. Yeah. They didn't have athletic scholarships there. So he took that school from the Pioneer League to the Big South to the CAA.
And then they just got their allotment of scholarships, right?
Yeah, and they just recently got their whole full allotment of scholarships not too long ago. And he's been one of the top recruiters in FCS. He's has punched out top recruiting classes constantly over the past couple of years at Campbell. I don't know why folks want to go to Blues Creek, but
I just hate how it's just gotten lost that Texas Southern has not said anything. And I just keep reiterating that because they never said anything. We took this and we ran with it, especially those who aren't using the words allegedly and things like that. And when you have reliable people, like I said, like G, who people may not know much about, but they know about these platforms like HBCU sports and things like that. I just think about the person in the middle of it. And maybe they're not even thinking twice about it. But that's why it's imperative to just always have integrity. And it goes back to the conversation of being first, and this is livelihoods and things like that to stir up conversation. It's a mess.
I mean, that's true, because now that you think about it, Texas Southern catching a lot of flack when They
Ain't
never
say
said
nothing.
nothing about Texas. They never said
And
about
they
Fred in
have
the first
not
place.
said anything. They have
That's true.
not
That's a
said
good point. That's a good
anything.
point. That's
Yeah.
a good
Nothing.
point. 'Cause they
So-
kept a lot
And then
of flack
whenever
right
you think about the players at Texas Southern, oh, we're hearing Fred McNair might be coming because the coaches may or may not be talking to them because now the coaches might be concerned. Well, we know
Yeah.
somebody new is coming in, but now, you know, we know that around this time, coaches and things have to start. It's so many people that are affected on both sides by just wanting to be first. And we don't really think about, I think it's
I was
intrapersonal.
thinking like this though. I'm like, okay, man, look, if Fred McNair go to Texas Southern, he get down to Texas Southern. I said the first thing he has to do, and I don't know if he could be successful in it or not, is he would have to talk everybody to get out that damn portal.
Ain't happening.
Well,
No,
I'm
yeah.
just, but in a sense, that's why this is just my little way of thinking right here, right? I mean, hey, it's Fred McNair. He is an established head coach. You know, he has winning, some winning seasons and stuff like that. He has hit some times where he kind of went almost rock bottom with Alcorn for a couple of years, but he bottomed back up as far as being 7-4 this past season. But I was just saying, like, if he would have got the job at Texas Southern, like, hey, can you convince go talk to Miss Body and Mr. and Rick Body and ask them, hey, Andrew, you want to come back up? You want to come back to school here?
I don't see it.
Back? But it's wishful thinking, though. I think he could.
If he doesn't get an offer,
if he
sure.
If he don't get an offer, yes. But what I'm saying is, even before
all right. So Doc,
but this is what I'm saying. Even before he gets an offer, I'm Fred. I'm like, look, I gotta find it. If I'm Fred, I get the coach job. I gotta find a QB.
So here's my. I'm gonna put it this way.
Jace isn't bad though.
I'm not saying Jason ain't bad because he did.
Gee,
Jace whooped my ass, so I ain't saying nothing.
Oh yeah, Jason. No.
I ain't saying nothing about Jace.
Jason whooped you.
Jace told my ass up.
No. Jason whooped you. Darius Owens whooped your ass by himself.
Yo, I'm crying.
Darius got 200 yards on that second toughest defense right there. On that same defense.
Lord.
Ooh, I ain't got nothing to say about them folks. I ain't got nothing to say about them folks.
Oh Lord. You know my guy right here. Carlos says
Oh,
they got
my
to be the right
goodness.
offer. That's Texas Southern right there, man.
I'll ask you these questions. If you're Andrew Body and you get an offer from FAMU, where you going?
Texas Southern.
I wouldn't. You going
Why
to
not?
FAMU.
Why?
Man,
Come on, Doc. Where you going?
G.
Man.
Doc. Dave. Why?
Why would you go to
because he's Texas. I mean, that boy is.
Okay, he's Texas. But it's
He's
obvious
Texas
that the man.
through and through.
Yeah.
You don't think he's leaving the state?
The blood run different. I ain't gonna say that
Yes.
he's not gonna leave, but I'm telling you that Texas bread,
You
our
don't leave
blood.
it.
You don't.
What about
leave,
Prairie View? What
It's
about
just
Prairie
like
View? What if he just go down the street to Prairie
I
View?
will welcome him with open arms on the hill. It's plenty
sure.
of room.
It's not like he's not cool with people at Prairie View. Hell, him and Trayvon is buddies.
Yeah,
Like, they best friends.
yeah.
So you know what I'm saying.
Look,
I'd rather take that 50-mile drive up the
I would.
road.
I haven't seen any offers. Maybe there are some out there for Andrew. It's kind of wild that we haven't seen any, but I'm pretty sure he's gotten.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
he's been on
some offers.
he's been on business and
that-
everything. He's been on business. He's on one this past weekend. He's just not putting them out there. But he did go on a visit this past weekend to actual MEAC school. So he's been going on visits.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. There's one MEAC school. If he goes there, they win the conference. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I can't say that.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
No, wrong answer. I am no wrong answer.
Okay, Norfolk State.
No.
B.O.
No.
Hell no. All
No.
due respect to the beholders.
Well, hell,
No.
y'all only got 3 schools. Who is it?
Six. Morgan State. If he goes to Morgan State,
right.
it is
You're
over.
right.
It's
You're
over.
right.
I would hear. Boy, Banks
It's
would
over.
be-
I
Banks
might
would
have to
be-
start cheering
If
for the
he
Bears.
goes to Morgan State, it is over.
That
Over.
boy Banks would be goddamn.
Banks will lose his mind if anybody
Gonna
ends
lose-
up at
Banks
Morgan
gonna
State.
lose his shit.
I don't
Lose
see Andrew going that
his-
far from home, though. I see him going to FAMU.
It's a
before he
flight
goes.
away from Baltimore to Houston.
He's in
Morgan got
he's in
money.
Corpus,
Don't
he's
let-
in
let-
Corpus
let's not-
Christi.
Yeah,
He's in
I was about to
Corpus
say
Christi.
he's in Corpus Christi, Dave. He's
Oh,
not
my
a
bad.
big city kid.
Bro, that is
Like,
not.
No, I'm talking about, look, how far
Y'all lost
I'm
me.
not,
Explain that. Y'all lost me. Y'all lost me. Explain
so
me.
how
Corpus
far is Corpus
Christi
Christi?
is like-
How far is Corpus Christi from Houston?
like 5 hours. It's
Oh
on
my
the
God,
road.
man.
Mm.
Sheesh. So what's the
Man, I
closest
gotta
city?
understand how big our freaking state
What's
is,
what's
man.
what's the closest city to Corpus Christi?
Shit, San Antonio.
Is it San Antonio? Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
San Antonio.
God.
It's like 3.5 hours.
So that's like
All this time I
Austin.
thought he was right there from Houston.
I did too.
No, he's from
Wow.
Corpus Christi.
That boy from
I
Corpus
did not know
Christi,
that.
man.
I didn't know he was 5 hours away. I didn't know that.
Like, man,
And
shoot.
Corpus Christi is on the Gulf.
It's on the go. Like
Like
that's what I'm
he's
saying.
in
If he's
hurricane.
going to go somewhere, that's why I said I don't think he'll go to Fed. It's going to be somewhere in the state of Texas.
But either way, whatever the closest airport. Listen. Baltimore is a major hub. The closest airport to get in the closest of Corpus Christi he can. Like, if he goes
But
to
the
Morgan,
closest
bruh.
airport that's not going to cost him an arm and a leg is still San Antonio.
Antonio,
And that's a drive.
that's a drive, bro. You gotta understand, like, bro.
So let's say you have a
bro,
V, right? Corpus Christi is at the bottom of the V. San Antonio is this way and Houston is this way.
Oh, Jesus.
Corpus is 6
Bro.
hours from Houston and 3 hours from San Antonio. It takes you 10 hours to drive from Corpus Christi to Amarillo, which is in the panhandle of Texas, which sits underneath the panhandle of Oklahoma.
It is, man.
That's a lot.
Like I said, I can see him going somewhere in state.
He's only got how many years he
I
got
don't
left? 1?
2.
I think he got two.
He got the red shirt. And remember, he can't. Well, he didn't come in the COVID year. He came in. He got his medical red shirt, so he got 2 years left. So my thing is like somewhere like North Texas, somewhere like maybe I wouldn't say SMU because Kevin Jennings is gonna be. I think he's gonna be the quarterback for them. Like a TCU, because anywhere that's close for his parents to come see him play. That's the main thing about it. He's still, y'all gotta understand. Andrew is family oriented. He wants to make sure that his people can come see him play from Corpus.
I think he's TSA if he don't go to
What about Texas State? What is it?
That's in San Marcos.
San Marcos
it's like 4 hours from him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like
Yo, that's
4
a
hours
lot,
from
man. Because the thing is, he not only has to get to a school that's close, but he's got to be able to win the job and play.
Right.
And
But
baby,
that's
you're
the-
not passing nothing. You passing tumbleweeds and trees the routes that he's going. It's very little.
But my thing is, like, if he wants to stay in Texas, then that means he's going to limit his options because he's got to go somewhere where he's going to be able to play and win the job. He's got to win the job. Like, I know.
That's with anybody though. That's with
but there's some, like, for example, right? If he went to A&T, hypothetically, right now we only have one quarterback left on the roster. Now we just have one that just committed, right? That's it. That's the competition. Like, unless we get another quarterback in, which is very possible, because I know the talk is they want to get 2 graduate quarterbacks. So if you go somewhere where you know you can win the job, but if his location is the fact that he wants his parents to see him play, that's different.
Yeah.
Well, then let me ask you about FAMU, because if FAMU just won the Celebration Bowl, don't you think that there are quarterbacks
Moosa's
from Power
leaving.
5 schools that are ready to? Right. So don't you think that there are quarterbacks from Power 5 schools that might find FAMU attractive? Where do you think Andrew's going to stack up in that?
Well, I mean, but right now, but the thing is, if if there's a high possibility that Andrew Body's going to end up going to FAMU, I don't see a scenario with, especially considering I didn't realize he had 2 years left. I don't know why I thought he had 1. He has 2 years left. I'm pretty sure Willie Simmons will be the type of person to try to just work with him if he thinks he's going to work out for what he wants to do. He wouldn't need to. The point is, he wouldn't need to have to go out to some other Power 5 QB. You have to keep it competitive, but Body's his guy. If Body committed and he knows of like Body's coming, Body's his guy. But it all depends, man. But I know that because Body isn't going to go somewhere where I'm pretty sure he understands he's going to have to compete. But he's going to go somewhere where he knows that he feels like he's going to win the job, just like Hodge Malik Williams. Hodge Malik Williams is getting all these offers from after he left Campbell, going to the portal for Campbell. He's going to go somewhere where he's going to have a damn good shot to win the job. There's no point in him going to a Power 5 institution and he ain't going to win the job.
Right. Now, I was like I said, you, my boy Carlos said Texas State is a no-go because they got a quarterback already. Malik Hornsby is already there.
Yeah.
But the UTSA, because going to UTSA, which is still close to your house right there, is a better option because then he'll play for actual even better coach in Jeff Traylor. And Jeff Traylor is, I'm telling y'all, Jeff Traylor is damn near like, I won't say God, but he's been winning in Texas. He made his bones in Texas. Like when I say he took Gilmer to like 4 state championships, and Gilmer is a small ass town in East Texas, took him to 4 straight championships, won 3 of them. The man can go out, he can coach. Dude only lost, I'm telling y'all, dude only lost probably like 4 games at Gilmer by just alone.
Do they have a quarterback at UTSA?
They don't. That's what I'm saying. It's a better option for them because they don't have a quarterback.
Oh, so there it is. I mean, that's an option if they're going to give him an offer. We'll see what happens. We'll know soon enough.
I just want Andrew to be happy. I do know that. Wherever he goes, I just want him to be happy.
Absolutely. We'll see what happens with him. We saw Keyshawn ended up at Vanderbilt.
Oh my God, Josh would have a goddamn aneurysms hearing that shit right there.
Oh yeah, we didn't really had that discussion point about Keyshawn Johnson, the wide receiver, former wide receiver, Alabama State, ended up at Vanderbilt. I hope it works out for him.
Underutilized at Alabama State?
Absolutely.
Because his uncle was the offensive coordinator. They let him go.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he sat out the last game. He sat out the Tuskegee game. So, like,
he was gone.
He was gone. But at the end of the day, Texas Southern gonna need stability at the head coach position. That's all I gotta say on that. If you're gonna go with Fred, get Fred, give him the contract, make sure his ass sign the contract on the dotted line, and let him go out there and get the recruits that he needs. If you ain't gonna go for Fred, who else you gonna get? Now, if you go with Andre Johnson, I mean, okay, of course, that's a little splash right there. I don't see him. It's not a celebrity, but he gonna bring some. He gonna bring some.
Folks know who he is, though.
Yeah, folks know who he is. He's gonna bring some resources. But they just talk about this, Texas Southern. You ain't had a winning season since.
Baby, you ain't beat us in 10 years.
In 10 years. Since Johnny Cole? Since Johnny Cole was the head coach.
Johnny Cole. Sure was.
Yeah. Well, I'm about to say LC. LC was at Tennessee State. I had a winning season since Johnny Cole was the head coach. And guess what? Johnny Cole ain't walking through that door. So
get Andre Johnson, though.
Andre Johnson walking through the door. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's good.
If Fred McNair does not get this job, bro. Oh my God, man.
You can't blame Texas Southern.
No, I'm not going to blame Texas Southern.
I'm calling out every source or every outlet who said something. Because you should have kept your mouth shut. Nobody told you nothing.
Me too, because they all come tagging me. I'm like, bro, that's not.
You heard it, Doc.
That old clip that came out of her.
Yeah, because nobody tell you nothing.
I'm just saying, when it was broke, like I said, Cameron Shaw and Kendra Marshall broke the story with HBCU sports.
Zach
I'm not
got an
gonna say.
interesting comment because we about to find out how good the folks, whoever's recruiting for Texas Southern right now, we about to find out how good of a recruiter they are.
Who recruiting? All the
I have
positions.
no idea. I remember when A&T let Sam Washington go during the recruiting period last year, and we were able to keep pretty much all our recruits, but one. So I thought that was an amazing job, and most of them stayed. A couple of them ended up leaving, but no, most of them stayed. But
That's the same with us.
Oh, go ahead, G.
No, I'm just saying it's the same with us through all this. We're gonna sign about 18, 19 players in the morning.
yeah, I don't know how many A&T's going to get. I keep hearing rumbles. We're definitely going to sign a quarterback, but they're saying that we should have 2 signed tomorrow. But we're going to see what happens tomorrow.
Man, that's the same thing.
I'm just welcoming
That's kind of like what
everybody.
happened when we got TC, man. Dude.
Well, I mean, the thing is, remember, 3 out of our 4 quarterbacks hit the portal, like right when the season ended. 3 of our 4 quarterbacks hit the portal.
One of them is that Houston
One of them is
Christian
in
right now.
Houston.
Yep.
And boy, they beat the snot out of us.
And they got Houston Christian.
But you know what the funny thing is?
Trying to do from Houston Christian.
Yeah, we got a dude from Houston Christian, Justin Fomby. We got him. He's coming to A&T.
Nah, but then we found out earlier today that the head coach for Houston Christian was the recruiting coordinator at Campbell. Like, God,
yeah,
dang.
I remember when he got the job.
I was like, what in the world?
Like, Blue
So
brought that up. I was like, bro, what the hell? So that means that Houston Christian right now has like the number 1 FCS recruiting class right now.
I hope we never play them again.
But what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do with their recruit class? Because Houston Christian ain't never really been about really.
Well, I mean, Mike Mentor didn't really win. Mike Mentor didn't have that many winning seasons when they had no more recruiting counts either. Keep it a buck.
True.
I mean, like let's keep it real. Like the recruiting class is only as good as you can coach them up and you develop them. I mean, shoot, when A&T was winning them Celebration Bowls, they ain't had no top recruiting class when they were winning them Celebration Bowls.
Well, man is trapping out of Sharkstown, going to everywhere in Houston and beyond to try to get these players to come to Sharkstown. If you ever been in Houston, if you ever been to Sharkstown, which is on the southwest side of Houston, Texas, you'll be like, God damn.
Ooh, you talking my lingo, goddamn.
You gotta have a bulletproof vest to come up in there. It's like going to Texas Southern and going to University of Houston. You go into the 3rd ward, and it's like you got Yellowstone on the other side of Texas Southern. It's like shit.
Y'all separated by a yard. It's somebody's front yard that separates you, just like FAMU and Florida State. That's how U of H and Texas Southern is.
I'm just saying, but man, but for real, that's all I'm worried about. Who's gonna be the head coach of Texas Southern? If it's gonna be Fred, let Fred do what he got to do. But if it's gonna be somebody else,
I want to know how long this is gonna take.
Man, I gotta get my boy. I gotta get my boy Craig up here.
Oh, Craig!
Craig, come on up, man.
Dave, this Board of Regents is known for being stubborn and wanting their way and and to be honest, these people are so disconnected, respectfully, but I mean, I'm so true. They're so disconnected from the student element, and they're so disconnected from the athletic element. They just know they have a job to bring somebody in, but they're so disconnected from like the roots of it. They'll drag this stuff out. They don't care. They still getting paid. They're appointed by the governor. At this point in Texas, you can't tell them nothing.
That man say he on Fondren right now.
Not Fondren.
I got some memories
in Fondren.
At least he ain't no business.
Dr. Hall got a good question. I have no idea when that board's meeting.
When does the board meet again?
Probably won't be.
So do they need a unanimous vote to hire a coach?
They have to meet quorum, and the 2 members
they gotta have a quorum, so they gotta agree to. They gotta meet first. you got to have a quorum. You can't until you have a quorum. It don't matter. And if you got some folks holding out for a certain individual, whether it's Andre Johnson or Joe Smo or whoever, you ain't gonna get no quorum. That's why I'm like, I want to know how long this is gonna take.
And it's those two people, and essentially they can and they more than likely will call like a special meeting, because they typically only meet during the even months of the year. So February, April, June, August, and October is when they typically meet. So they'll probably call a special meeting on Zoom, because they're not going nowhere, to determine what they're going to do. But as long as these two members continue to hold out and quorum's not met, you can't meet. You can't meet.
Oh shit! I got intel. My boy Carlos said that the Andre Johnson interview was horrible.
Don't matter if there's two people that want him.
Don't matter.
That don't matter.
There's a
That
whole
don't
bunch of
matter.
coaches that can't even send a professional email, but they still coaches. Interviews don't matter.
Hey, bro, jump on, Craig.
All I'm gonna say is this: Jackson State just hired their new president recently, right?
With
Shit,
no
we
higher
didn't hire
education.
That's my point.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's
We didn't
right there is
hire.
my point.
That
That's my
scares me in
point.
Mississippi. I'm not lying. That scares
Bro,
me.
you know what I'm talking about, man. I remember the day that when I was at college, when Dr. Lyons left Jackson State, we had an interim president, and then they hired Ronald Mason.
Man, that Jack State move scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, I don't like that move.
Bruh,
scares
I'm
me.
I'm looking in North Carolina. I'm looking at every single opening that North Carolina has right now, and I'm looking at how they're handling it. And so, like, I'm debating if I'm hoping that they select A&T's chancellor before Chancellor Martin retires. I'm hoping, like, they have enough
because once
time.
you out the door,
Then they're gonna put some random in there as the interim.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. You're right.
Like
You
they
gotta
just
realize-
if they're willing to put a guy with no higher education experience at their flagship UNC institution, there's 16 UNC schools, and you're willing to put a guy that has no higher education experience to be the interim chancellor while you find your replacement. That
Yes,
is
because he's gonna
insanity.
do what I said.
Bro,
Because he don't know what he's doing.
Bro, we talk about the same. G, we talk about the same IHL board that hired somebody called him Sweet Dick Willie, William Bynum as our president. As our
Bynum
president,
alive.
and y'all know what happened to him after that? The nigga got damn arrested for soliciting prostitution. Come on,
That's
now.
bad.
Dr. Hall, you absolutely have a chance to become the chancellor, and you'll be the first female chancellor in North Carolina Agricultural Technical State University history.
But I hate how unserious we are about the presidential vacancies. That's concerning, because just like head football coaches have transitional power to move in coaching positions, so do these presidents. They're bringing in VPs. They're bringing in, just based on whatever they determine. These people are transitioning the leadership landscape of that institution's administration. It should be taken just as seriously, because when you have people who are problematic at the top across the board, you're a problem.
AD Campbell, come on, AD Campbell.
I just know they have a search committee, and Peter Hines, who's like the UNC guy, he's on that search committee with the North Carolina State Chancellor. And there's a lot of A&T folks within that committee as well. And what it's going to ultimately boil down to is Hines can appoint somebody to be a finalist without even interviewing them. He can just say, hey, I'm going to move you up to the top.
What's
even
going
with
on,
two
man?
recommendations. So we'll see.
Yo. Talk
What's
to me,
happening?
Doc. How's it going, everybody?
Craig!
That boy Craig right
Feliz
there.
Navidad. Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad. Happy Hanukkah. See you
That's
in
right,
Vegas.
Hanukkah.
Man, what's up, man? What's up with the school, bro? What's up with your school, man?
Man, listen. I don't know, man. I don't know. I can say this though, respectfully though. Fred McNair, like I know people may not like it, but Fred McNair name carry weight in Houston. I mean, that'll be some help for us because our program need help. Let's just be honest, we need help. I know some people may say Andre Johnson, but then you'll hear someone say, "Well, he don't have coaching experience." I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna be a fair man. If he wants the job and he says he wants the job, not too many people gonna say they want that job. So I think he gonna try to give it all he got. Um, that's all I can ask for him. And if everybody come behind him and help him, alumni, the president, the vice president, the AD. I mean, he gonna get some wins. Is he gonna win automatically? We don't know, but he'll get. He gonna give it his best shot. Whoever comes in gonna give it their best shot. But I can say this issue with Fred, and we don't know where he going. And first he was coming to TSU, now he not. I don't know, man. I'm confused. Meanwhile, we got an intern. I guess we got an intern. So I don't know, man. We all stuck in limbo right now. I don't know.
Yeah, but like we said earlier, Craig, TSU ain't said nothing. That's everybody else talking.
Right. That's one thing. We keeping each other in the dark. I don't know. First it was Fred came, then it was he never came. I don't know, man. I don't know how they handle their business. I just asked for somebody to take care of their business towards them young men, because they gonna need a head coach. They need that right now. And you hear them talking about where they gonna go. They don't know. I mean, we just know they giving us all they got. We just gotta take them out and try to help them out. So, I mean, that's like I said. I've been keeping them positive. The players, I just been keeping them positive, man. Just keep doing things. Other than that, I don't know what we can do about that head coach situation.
Hire
We'll
one.
we'll see what happens tomorrow, y'all.
You know what I'm saying?
Because it's
Well, what's supposed to happen tomorrow, Doc?
I don't know what happened tomorrow, but we got how it is with SWAC Twitter shoot.
Every day
something going on.
That's part of the problem. It's SWAC Twitter and it ain't the institution Twitter.
It's 11:50 on y'all on the East Coast, and it's 10:50 where we at. So I'm gonna end this live right here tonight. What's that? What's up? Damn, Craig, you in the transfer? The thing with the transfer?
Craig, you must be too far away from your phone with the AirPods in.
My boy told y'all he was on fun.
I think I am. Over here, y'all.
All I care about is the students, to be honest. We got to talk about all the other stuff, but
we gonna you give me like a couple of days. We'll talk about that, Jess. And go on and get your coalition up in here.
I ain't got no coalition. And Prairie ain't got nothing to do with that.
I ain't saying I'm talking about your coalition. You and Ty.
Well, you know what I'm saying? We gotta do what we gotta do.
Gotta bring the big bulldog up in there.
Big bulldog.
Not the little one. And say, wait, G, when you going live again?
Tomorrow evening.
G, you be going live?
I got that first said Thomas interview. That's my guy. That's my dog.
Oh, I gotta come to that.
Yeah, so
Yeah. What time? Like around what?
I'm waiting on him right now. So our show set for 7:00. But Coach, if you want to go live at 1:00, Coach, whatever time you tell me. Whatever time you tell me.
That's who you
Coach,
wanted?
Yeah, that's who I wanted. I work for you now, Coach. That's what I told him. I work for you. Whatever you want me to do.
Is that right?
Yeah, I work for you. That's the one I wanted. I told the president this weekend, look, bro, that's what I want. That's just who I want. So that's what I wanted. I love the guy. I'm excited.
That's good. Go Tigers. I mean Braves.
God, they listen to the Tigers.
Bad.
I mean, I know they whooped our ass, but god damn.
Which Tigers? There's so many of them.
Oh, I'm a DI love kind of girl.
Whoa.
I went to school there for a little bit. I did my time.
What I'm talking about. But she a big Panther, not the little one.
There's a lot of Tigers. Y'all got a lot of Tigers. Y'all got like 3 of them. I mean, the MEAC got 2 Eagles. So.
Grambling, Texas Southern, and Jackson State. But
Yeah, MEAC only got 18s, and they got 2 Eagles. So.
Yeah, AD Campbell, that's what we've been talking about the whole time. Social media putting stuff out there. And Texas Southern ain't said what the song say. They ain't said a mumbling word.
AD Campbell know that nobody got no patience. Ain't nobody got no patience.
That's the song said. They ain't said a mumbling word. Well, they ain't said a mumbling word because they ain't met yet. They can't meet quorum to meet. It ain't nothing to talk about.
I can't believe that. This is some holdouts. Yo, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun.
I'm telling you, bro. It's going
every day. It's like the SWAC soap opera. Every day.
Look, man,
And
y'all could have like so much television. Just so much television.
Because I soap opera was
It could be like a 30 for 30 every week.
Sure
What if I told you that Fred McNair
last year?
Sure was. Ours was the year before. When we got beat, and then the day after we got beat in the championship.
Yep.
Bro, we had just woke up from the loss the day after. I still got the tweet. They deleted it. I still got that tweet. We would like to welcome Coach. I said, so did you even care about us yesterday during the game? You was gone before you even ran out with the team at the vet.
Yeah.
That hurt my little heart. I ain't gonna lie. 2 years ago, I'm still a little hurt behind that. December the 6th, 2021.
Oh, yeah, you was hurt. You know the date.
Oh, yeah, that hurt me.
Hey, he did not care about what coaching that damn SWAC championship game either.
Boy, with that vest on.
He was already like, shoot, I'm about to go down to that.
But he did the same thing at Grambling in that Celebration Bowl year, and then he came to Prairie View. Y'all didn't offer Dooley a contract. I don't know who you.
Well, I heard. Well, I guess there's speculation that about who the OC for Grambling gonna be. It might be the dude.
Dooley.
I hope it is Eric. He deserves another chance.
In the DC, gonna be Rollins reportedly. Jason Rollins from Southern.
Jason Rollins.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be running
him interim tag for a whole season, and they got rid of him.
It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Yes. No, Mickey Joseph, excuse me.
Media Day gonna be interesting.
Oh,
no Gucci suits this year.
No.
How you know that?
You're right. Somebody
Gucci Graves might come up in there.
Yeah,
Gucci Graves.
Gucci Graves.
Yeah, who gonna be the best dressed now?
Me.
That's a good question. Just say me.
You lost Hugh. You lost Gucci Gang.
Oh no! Wait a minute. Thornton got let go after they let you go.
Baby, got let go the whole 7-minute press conference.
Yeah. He got let go. The whole defensive staff got let go.
Whole defensive staff gone.
I got rid of him.
But they'll end up somewhere else, right? Isn't that how it works? I don't really know how it works to get let go.
Man,
it all depends on the time and everything. I know A&T still looking for an OC, so
Coach Thornton, you know what I'm saying? He was at Grambling, and you know, his wife is at Pine Bluff, so maybe top.
Maybe he can start coaching basketball.
Chop it up with Coach Hampton over at Pine Bluff.
Speaking of Coach Hampton, man, that's an interesting one too.
No, Coach Hampton is cool though, man. They just, you know, what I'm saying, he ran into a buzzsaw, at Pine Bluff. You gotta do. And the same thing with Coach Wade at Valley.
And if you know,
I think Wade's gonna be able to turn that thing around, man. I do. I like Wade. I think he's gonna be able to. It's gonna take a little bit.
Yeah,
and the thing about it is too, Valley's gonna, with that AD with AD McClellan over there, he's gonna be patient with him because he's
he
gonna take
was
time.
my boss when I was an intern at Prairie View. But he was doing compliance.
Fun fact: Wade and Cedric Thomas are cousins, first cousins.
That's interesting.
Coach Thomas from
Who was it?
Mississippi.
Wait. Time out. What you say?
From Delta. Wade and Coach Cedric Thomas are cousins.
Oh shoot!
Oh, that's crazy.
So if they ever do move Wade out of the Valley, he can always get a job with Cedric Thomas.
With old Cuz.
He gets called Cuz up.
Wow, that is so cool.
Like I say, man, why you gotta beat me down like that, dog?
Thanksgiving gonna be lit.
Boy. Boy, man. Hey, man. But yeah, just like you said.
I mean, when I say turn that around, I'm not saying they're gonna win the East. I'm thinking like, be competitive. Like occasionally, get, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's instead of them just being the team that clips somebody, they like legitimately at some point become a contender. I don't think they're gonna win the East. Not with FAMU in
What's
there.
their problem though?
Resources.
Their
athletic budget is smaller than some Division II schools, HBCU Division II schools. Like I think it's like $4 million for everything.
Really?
It's not for all their sports.
Yeah,
like,
you ain't never been to Valley. You ain't never been to Valley.
Location don't help either. But when you talk about a budget,
I might have visited somebody out there.
Folks got to remember, man. Well, folks got to know that athletic budgets are based on your enrollment. A lot of, particularly for HBCUs, the bulk of the athletic budget comes from the student fees and athletic fees.
Mm-hmm.
Like A&T, like most of y'all institutions. So your budget is going to be based on the enrollment. That's going to be the factor when it comes to that. So.
All right. Well, man, look, we gonna see what happens tomorrow. Y'all already know how Twitter, HBCU Twitter is, SWAC Twitter is, man. We gonna hear all this stuff tomorrow. But I appreciate everybody for joining up, coming up here and joining it. I appreciate Liv for coming up first, and we talk basketball and everything. Go check out her YouTube channel. Just check out what she do on the Twitter space, and God damn it, Texas Southern, get this shit right.
They will when they finally open up their mouth. Everybody else need to shut up.
I make that 3.5. I make that 3.5 hour drive down there.
Good luck trying to get X to shut up, because
G can keep talking because he seems to be the only one that knows what's really going on.
I try.
It brings entertainment to the room, but
and if Fred go down, if he is the head coach, he gonna coming in. You know what I'm saying? He gonna come in on those swingers.
I wish that guy a lot of luck, man. I love that dude. Great guy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Great guy.
But other than that, like I said, let the process play out. Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. Just shut the hell up. And wait till the process play out. If you named the head coach, then we all gonna report it. If you ain't named the head coach, shut the hell up.
Good luck.
Man, I appreciate everybody, y'all. I'm about to get up off this thing.
All right, thanks, Doc.
Anytime. We're gonna do the next. We're gonna talk about the student next time. All right.
All right. Appreciate it.
See you, Doc. You have a good one, boss.
All right, bro. Oh man, that was good, y'all. That was good. But that was good, man. Just I don't know. They just gotta get this shit right. They gotta get this hire right. If not, it's really gonna set them back for years to come. But as always, man, it's HBCU tonight, episode 68. Like the stream. Like the stream. Like the video. Like everything. Comment and subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to it. Hopefully, I'm not doing anything tomorrow. Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Aaron Webb, Mississippi Valley State defensive back, will be on the show. Get an insight about his first season at Valley, his HBCU experience, and something big that he did yesterday that had me smiling from ear to ear. Friday, if I can get in touch with it, either A.D. Sykes or Coach Thornton from UAPB. I did reach out to her. Yes, A.D. Campbell. You know, misinformation travel quickly, so we're not gonna have this misinformation no more. I'm gonna wait till it play out, and then whatever happens, it happens. That's when I'm gonna report on it. But bro, I am not driving no damn driving 11 hours back to Tallahassee for no parade. My parade is gonna be when the Cowboys win the Super Bowl. Leave me alone. Other than that, y'all, I gotta get off this thing. I got Mr. Edwin, that is just Cornelius. That was the female guest. Real good friend of mine and everything. But I'm just saying, test study, make the right decision, get this shit right. But I'm out this thing. We'll be back on Thursday. Take a little break tomorrow. But y'all be blessed. Y'all stay safe and hug your loved ones. Until Thursday, we out this thing. Peace.